GuthriePhotographyOnline.com coming at you with a new video today. We're going to talk about, man, Nikon is on a roll within the last 6 months in releasing lenses, cameras, and everything else. I think Nikon is becoming a step ahead of Canon at this point with their releases, their roadmaps, their great stuff that they're coming out with. But today we are going to talk about one product in particular that Nikon has recently come out with. It is the new Nikon 24-70 f2.8 S lens for the Nikon Z6 and the Z7 mirrorless cameras. So today we're going to talk about this lens, and I'd like to preface this with, this lens I don't believe is for new photographers. It's not for new people coming into the game. If you're a new photographer, I highly recommend that you stay with the DSLR cameras. They're cheaper, they're more inexpensive, the lenses are going to be more inexpensive. Like this new Nikon 24-70 that we're going to talk about today, it is around the $2,000 range. And I went online right before I made this video, and you can get a 24-70 DSLR lens from Nikon for about $960 refurbished. So if you're looking for a good 24-70 at this point, and you're not doing this professionally, you're not making money at it, you should actually be using the DSLR with a DSLR lens, an FX series lens. So guys, I'm here to save you guys money. I don't use the best equipment. I haven't in a long time. I shoot fashion shows with a D700. Okay? And that D700 does me perfect. I get perfect results every time. I use the D700 with a Nikon 70-200 f2.8 lens I usually use, or I'll go in and rent a longer lens, about a 500 millimeter lens if I'm in the back of the room. But we're going to get back to the video now. We're going to get back to what I'm here to talk about today is the new Nikon 24-70 f2.8 mirrorless lens was officially announced on February 14th. The new Nikon Nikkor Z 24-70 f2.8 is a full frame mirrorless lens, and is now officially available. Is available for pre-order right now, and you can available for pre-order for $2,297, and will be shipping sometime in early spring. So, like I said, the focal length of this lens is 24-70 millimeters. The maximum aperture is a 2.8 f2.8, and the minimum aperture is f22. What does that mean? For people that don't know, the maximum aperture is going to be your wide aperture. It's going to be how wide how much light that the Nikon, this lens will let in. So it will open up wide enough to do mostly anything that you need to in dark situations. It's going to allow, that 2.8 is going to allow beautiful bokeh. And on the contrary side, when it closes down to f22, the aperture closes down to f22, it's going to really restrict how much light's coming in, but it's also going to give you sharp focus at f22. The two difference between the focus, you get a very thin focus field when you go to f2.8, and you get the maximum focus at f22. So when you're taking pictures, you have to decide whether you want everything in focus or just your subject in focus with a nice bokeh background in the back. So moving on with the specs, this has a filter attachment size of 82 millimeters. So that means you could put, like on all my lenses that I have, I put a UV filter on top of the actual lens. It helps me protect my lens from scratches, sand, and whatnot. Okay, this lens also features a very, very lightweight of approximately 1 pound, 12.4 ounces. Now that right there, if you're a professional, that right there and you're going to go with mirrorless, that right there is a great thing. The lighter you can get with stuff, the better. When you're looking around a heavy 72-200, or it is a pain in the ass. So as Nikon makes these new lenses, the weight's going to come down, and they're going to be a lot better as far as the weight goes. So, no more key features on this. It has a minimum focal distance of just 0.38. So that means you can get really close to your subject. You can get really close to your subject and still be in focus. It also has 17 lens elements inside. 17 lens elements. And it also has the nano crystal coating. And it also has a new coat called ARNEO. The ARNEO coat, because I'm going to butcher that, I know. That's going to repel dust, sand, grease, anything like that. It's also going to suppress ghosting and lens flare. That is also going to suppress the ghosting and lens flare. This new lens is something different because I've never seen this before on any Nikon lens. They're actually putting a function button on the lens, and you'll be able to do different things with that function button. I don't know exactly what that function button is going to be for and how it would help me in my workflow because I've never, I don't use the function buttons on any of my cameras. I just don't. But this is going to have a function button on it. Okay? And as I scroll down here, Nikon says this is the ideal lens for professionals. It's going to give you a nice zoom from 24 to 70. It's going to be, and that 24-70 is all the way through. So you're not going to have to, when you zoom in, it's not going to go up to 3.5 or 5. It's not going to adjust the aperture as you zoom through. So it's also going to allow you to leave it at 2.8, and that lens as you zoom is going to stay at 2.8, which in the fault of the other Nikon lenses for the Z series line, most of them don't have that function. It's unfortunate too, because if you're going to release a brand new camera, you think Nikon would cater towards the professional. And in this case, I don't think they have. I don't think Nikon's cater towards the professional as far as releasing lenses for this camera, these Z6 and Z7. Let's see. Some more notes here. Some more notes about the 24 to 70. Let's see here as I scroll through. Nikon says that this system uses two actuator motors to move two focus groups at once, enabling the lens to achieve a critical focus rapidly. So it's going to have two motors inside that lens, which is actually pretty darn cool. Because when you need to focus really fast and you're trying to get a subject, let's say you're trying to photograph soccer or whatnot, that's going to help out tremendously in getting your focus snap sharp. Oh, more about the L function button. The L function button that I've talked about on here is going to let you set over 20 custom functions for still shooting photos. I still don't know what that means, but I hope to find out soon. I hope to actually get my hands on a Nikon Z series camera just to see what it's like. Again, as a new photographer out there, I don't think you should be using the mirrorless line of cameras. I think you should stay with the DSLR. They are cheaper. Let's see if I missed anything. Like I said, the new Nikon, this new lens is available for pre-order and will be shipping with a price tag of around $2,300. And here's my thing on that. So let's say you're a new photographer with a limited budget, but you want to get that 24-70. You want to get that. Do you want to spend close to $2,000 on a Z series camera and then go ahead and pay $2,300 on this lens? I don't think so, because right now you can go on to Adorama Picks and you can get a refurbished 24 to 70 for $900. So is this lens worth it? Maybe, maybe if you're a professional and you do this for a living. But as a photographer out there looking for a lens, I would not get this unless you have a mirrorless camera. Well, you can't get it if you don't have a mirrorless camera. You can't use this lens. But on the other hand, you just bought the mirrorless camera. You can use the original 24 to 70 that Nikon has, the 2.8 FG series lens, and you can get that. You can get pretty much that same function for $900 if you go with the older style. If you go with the older style lens. Now, I don't know about you, but Nikon's lenses are great. They're great, and if you don't have the money to spend $2,300 on its 24 to 70 lens, I would definitely go and pick up the FX mount lens for $900. That is a great deal for a refurbished lens on Adorama Picks right now. And I'm not telling you guys this because I support any company or anything that sells camera equipment or nothing like that. I'm telling you this because I think a lot of times we get on a bandwagon, okay? And I was talking about the 24 to 70, but I'm going to go off topic a little bit right now. We get on a bandwagon of you have to have the newest equipment. If you don't have the newest equipment, you're not a good photographer. I'm going to tell you right now. I use Nikon D700 to shoot fashion shows. I went to New York Fashion Week. I've been there. I've done that. I've shoot other fashion shows in my local hometown here. And I'm going out of state in a couple months to shoot another fashion show. So, and I will also be showing that live via YouTube live streams or whatnot. So I'm going to just tell you this, guys. If you're looking for the 24 to 70, you're going to go, ooh, look at that brand new shiny toy. One, you can't use it unless you have the mirrorless Z series cameras. Two, you can't, it's too expensive. It's $2,300. When you can go on an Adorama Picks and you can get the same, not the same lens, but an older version of that lens, and it's going to be a 24 to 70 2.8. It's just going to work just as well as the new one for only $900. And the kicker is you can use the old one on both your mirrorless camera and a DSLR. So if you have a DSLR and a mirrorless, there you go. You have both of them. You can use one lens for both cameras. So that's my thoughts on the new 24 to 70. Those are the specs that I've been able to gather from the internets. If you don't agree with me on that, I really don't care. But if you do agree, please give me a thumbs up. Please give me a subscribe. I would really love if you would subscribe to my channel. I need the subscriptions, guys. I need the subscriptions. And I will see you in the next video. GuthriePhotographyOnline.com. I'm out of here.